Hi, this is the G550 by Gulfstream. These are the two Rolls-Royce BR700 engines. These two complex machines make them so versatile for so many planes to use them. Let's go over to Love Field at Signature Flight Support in Dallas, Texas to find out how these amazing machines work. The very first idea of the jet engine was proposed by Sir Isaac Newton. He explained this by telling us that an explosion from the back of an object could propel it forward. This is his third law of motion. Then, in 1921, Frank Whittle proposed the idea for the modern jet engine. This jet engine had compressors that would compress and decompress air while adding heat. This would propel the aircraft forward. This is the BR700 from an underside view. Those are oil pans, and these are fuel injectors. This is the back underside of the engine. This is where the fuel gets pumped into the engine. This is the front of the turbine fan, what you normally see. This is where air is sucked in and put into the compressors. This is the back side of the engine. This is where hot gases from the compressors in the combustion chamber are released and decompress. This is also where the bypass puts its cold air and mixes it with the hot air from the combustion chamber. This process is helped by the squiggly pieces of metal called the mixers. They are also called the chevrons. Those help mix the air in the perfect way so that they make the wavelengths of the sound decrease. So this is the entire outside of the engine. As you can see from these arrows, the air comes in the front through that large fan, goes through all the compressors, and exits through the back. So this is the diagram of the engine. This is what we saw earlier. These are the oil pans, and these are the fuel injectors. They look like wires, but they're actually small tubes. This large fan powers the engine. It puts in really cold air from the outside and puts it right into the engine to be compressed and shot out the back. What makes that happen is the compressors right here. These small compartments, they take in air and they compress them like an air compressor that you might have in your garage. Those then shoot out air through these tubes called the bypass and mix with the cold air from the outside of the engine. The last thing to talk about is the combustion chamber. The combustion chamber is located here. It ignites the compressed gases with fuel and pushes them out the back to give the engine an extra boost of energy. As we can explain from Pascal's principle, one amount of pressure in one of the compressors is equally distributed throughout the entire compressor. We can also explain that by introducing heat, it increases the pressure. Therefore, the amount of thrust will be increased. So now that we've seen the diagram, I want to show you a real-life example of the BR700 in use. See here we have a G550 taking off and turning on to runway 31 left at Love Field Airport in Dallas, Texas. Here in a second you'll be able to see and hear those amazing engines being powered up and used for another efficient flight to log more hours for those amazing BR700s.